We begin tonight with a battle against mosquitoes. After our story aired last week about mosquito season arriving early this year, a Pacific Beach woman reached out to us with a problem she says she's been dealing with for a decade. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee. She tells us water collects right along the curb outside her home and just sits there, creating the perfect breeding ground for mosquitoes. News 8's Brian White is working for you to find out what can be done. Brian, live in PB tonight, give us a look at the problem.
Yeah, Marcella, the problem is right here along this curb. You can see the standing water that just collects and sits here. It's dark and murky, and neighbors say it's been like this for years. The standing water outside Cheryl Bruiser's home on Sequoia Street has been a constant problem during the 10 years she's lived here.
But there's always been a problem with standing water here.
Even weeks after the last rain, the water is still here, stretching several car lengths and sometimes reaching a few inches deep.
And this is from the rain, what was that, 2 weeks ago? And it just doesn't have any place to flow.
She says when temperatures warm up, the stagnant water becomes a breeding ground for mosquito larvae, and the bugs quickly take over the area.
In the summer or when the weather warms up, it's impossible to sit out front because the mosquitoes are so bad.
Neighbors say they've reported the issue for years using the city's Get It Done app, and the county's vector control team has come out to spray for mosquitoes.
And they come out and they spray, but that's just mitigating the problem. That's not taking care of the problem.
Some neighbors believe the cause of the problem is right here.
There's a crack here from the roots of this tree, and there's also a little, you can see a rise in the curb right there. So when the water comes from here, it has no place to go.
One neighbor across the street told me he had a similar issue until the city replaced a section of curb and gutter several years ago to improve the drainage. I reached out to the city to see if similar repairs could be made here. After reviewing the photos I sent, a spokesperson told me sidewalk engineering staff and arborists from urban forestry will have to examine the site and determine next steps for repair.
I hope the right department at the street sees this and sends somebody out. Somebody needs to figure out what to do here.
Here's another look at that standing water. Now, coming up at 6 o'clock, we're going to talk about how runoff from sprinklers and irrigation can contribute to problems like this and steps you can take to address it if you're having that situation around your home in your neighborhood. Marcella?
Brian, seems like a good solution that neighbors have found. Hopefully the city will take some action. Keep us posted on that. Great story. Thanks.